Welcome back to Serena's Playbook. These are the 7 things that I believe every brand and business owner needs to pay attention to in order to build smarter, grow stronger. Are you ready? This is the initial list. 7 zones of interest. Number 1, strategic self awareness. Zone 2, interdependencies and stakeholder mapping. Zone 3, risk readiness and reputational design. Zone 4, one of my favorites, media literacy and zeitgeist awareness. I'll explain why this is one of my favorites. Zone 5, engagement system and content architecture. Zone 6, your North Star and value compass. And then Zone 7, actually, this is my real favorite. This is the bonus bit, reflexive thinking and the bricklayer mindset. We're going to get into only so much detail in this short video, but at least it will begin to introduce you to these concepts that I will be talking a lot about on this channel. And it's all really for the business owner, the brand, the person building in public who's often the solopreneur wearing so many different hats. And that is honestly subject to overwhelm. So we want to get into a state of preparedness, and that's why you need your own playbook, your own new thinking system, and these 7 zones design that playbook for yourself. Why is zone 1, strategic self awareness, so important? I can only get into so much depth. My masterclass will get into all of the nuances, and you can find out about that in the description of this video. Listen, are you leading your business or are you reacting to it? Because that's what happens to all of us. We are in it, we're reacting to it, we're sensitive to it. I'm sensitive. What was that it was saying? I'm sensitive about my shit. Like, seriously, because your heart and soul goes into it. So you can often fall into the trap of being reactive because you're sensitive. And so when you are having to be much more strategic, it's really important to be self aware, like you're in it. So when are you being reactive? Take a note of that, because it's usually those situations that can send you downwards, like a downward spiral. So we don't want to spiral out of control. Be aware of where you are being reactive and probably therefore need to be much more strategic and zoomed out. That should give you some answers. Zone 2, stakeholder mapping and interdependency. Business is a web, it's not a ladder. And the same goes for your reputation, for your brand. There's an entire web of stakeholders. The stakeholder could be the YouTube algorithm. It could be a client, it could be a partner or a sponsor, somebody who works in your team. And so what you have to do is you've got to look at all of these stakeholders as very important actors in your play, if you like. And everyone has a part to play, and everyone is actually impacting the way this play is performed, how it's received by the audience. So there might be some stakeholders that you don't prioritize as much. I want you to just make yourself aware of this and jot this down. In fact, jot all of this stuff down, because what you're doing right now is you're starting to draft your playbook. Zone 3, risk readiness and reputation design. This is my favorite as well. Gosh, I think they're all my favorites because that's why I designed it this way. Risk readiness and reputation design. You can't outsource your instincts. You can't outsource your integrity. We all want to do this. We all want to delegate as much as possible, get others to do the kind of work for us, and that's great. But there's certain things when it comes to your brand's reputation and your appreciation of the risk to your brand and your business that only you may be the most sensitive to and the most cognizant about. And so that's why it's really important for you not to outsource all of it and be in the state of awareness where you know what the main risks are to your business, to your brand, to your reputation, and you know how you're going to respond to it because you've begun to draft some rebuttals, some lines, so you're ready just in case. Listen, when it comes to your reputation as a brand and a business, and you're putting so much of yourself in building this thing, you already have the strongest instincts. You already have I would say, the kind of gut, right? And so you've got to trust yourself and therefore be prepared. So once you're much more aware and zoomed out, not reactive, you'll be able to just be ready for those risks. Again, I go into more detail. You just got to sign up at my site. Masterclass and other content will be available for you. Zone 4, media literacy and zeitgeist awareness. The reason why I first said this is my favorite is because being culturally aware is not an option. It's necessary, it's imperative, it's strategic. Let's say that again, it's strategic. The reason why it's imperative is because your audience is impacted by socioeconomic, socio-political ish going on. So for you to divorce yourself from that can be quite, well, let's just put it this way. You could be accused of being quite ignorant. You could be accused of being tone deaf. Be aware of what's culturally impacting your audiences. So you're aware. I've got to turn my email off. What is going on here? Be aware of what is, let's just quit on the email. Okay. Be aware of what is impacting your audience and what's important to them, especially when there's always shifts going on in the socio-political, socio-economic landscape. Media literacy is important because you're not just serving your customers, you're having to care about what they care about as well, to a degree. So having an awareness of what's going on in the zeitgeist, especially for your audience, and then how it's playing out in the media is so important. So do not leave this bit out. This actually ties into even the risk readiness and reputational design. All of this is just so wonderfully like interlinked and overlapping. That's why it makes for such a wonderful playbook. Okay, your zone 5 is your engagement system and your content architecture. Now, you're not just building content, you're building an engine, because that's what you want to continue to drive forever. I've got the same car I've had for 10 something years. I call it the mummy wagon. I love this old Qashqai, Nissan Qashqai. Reminds me of growing up with the Nissan family car that my late dad used to have for us. And it has just stood the test of time. It served me and my daughter so well. And I love having something that I can rely on. And your business and your brand doesn't always have to be this flashy Ferrari, although Ferraris are cool as well. So you want to build an engine that's really gonna last. So your engagement system and your content architecture is like the engine to your brand. It's like you are having to design the format, the frequency, and the platform for your content, for the way that you engage with people, and stay sort of consistent with it. That's why it's so important just to kind of have a look at this. Don't just assume, oh, yes, I'll just continue posting there. But what about the frequency? Do they care about it? Where are the opportunities with it? This is the kind of stuff that you're going to have to sort of look at when you're addressing your zone 5, your engagement system, your content architecture. Zone 6. I know I'm just whizzing through these, but believe me, I'll be talking about all of this even more on my channel. So do subscribe if you haven't already. And like I said, more is on offer on my site and my masterclass. Zone 6, North Star and your value compass. Brands that drift usually forget where they are going. Let's repeat that. Brands that drift usually forget where they're going because they haven't got a North Star. You want a North Star and you want a value compass. What are your values? Your highest values. Have you defined them? This isn't just the mission statement that you have out there for whoever to see. This is like your internal mission statement. Like get into the Jerry Maguire. Is it Jerry Maguire? as long as I didn't say Jerry Springer. Get into the Jerry Maguire mindset, like the really passionate one, and just draft that for yourself. And within that, see, do a free write. I'm such a big advocate of free writing, especially when I first started doing it after reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron when it first came out. I'm telling you how old I am because I am that age and I love it. So the wonderful freeing thing about free writing is that you just become aware of things that you wouldn't have been aware of if you hadn't have done that free write. It reveals things, it pulls things out of you. So do that kind of really quick stream free write about you, your North Star, like try and define your North Star in one sentence. And perhaps list 3 questions to ask yourself, when you're faced with a big decision, what are the values that guide you the most? Ooh, I like that one. I'm going to use that again. Bonus zone. Zone 7 is reflexive thinking and the bricklayer. The bricklayer mindset was bricolage. It's essentially using everything at your disposal, all your disciplines that you have. Maybe you're interdisciplinary like me, multidisciplined, all the skills, the experience you have. Don't just compartmentalize it all. Don't silo it all. It all blends to make you into the bricklayer that you are. That's what bricolage is all about. And so the most strategic person in the room isn't the loudest, it's the most reflective person, because being a reflective thinker, practicing this reflexive thinking is a powerful mindset, because then you're not reacting and you're able to draw from so many different things. You're able to spot innovative things like ideas, opportunities, solutions. It's the ability, reflexive thinking is the ability to observe that you're thinking while you're thinking. It takes a whole Descartes thing, like it just out of the water, because I think therefore I am, but I think, and I know that I'm thinking. I know that they know that they know. No, but you're aware of your thinking. It's being aware of your thinking. And this is such a resourceful mindset, because it just means that you're not being reactive, and you can end up creating opportunities for yourself because you're now much more resourceful as a player in your game. You're not somebody who's going to easily sort of fall over from any move that anyone makes. You're aware of what's going on around you. You're aware of how you're approaching it, what you're thinking about it. And it just means that you're not going to overlook any skills that you might have, which you could definitely use to your advantage. So that's what we want to do. Use all of the skills that we have to our advantage. It's just a great opportunity for me to introduce these concepts, these zones of interest I'm going to talk about in a lot more detail and depth. Use live examples, stories, and also thank you for subscribing and welcome to this channel and this community. And let me know what your sort of challenges are in the comment section, and we can use those as case studies and examples as well. So wonderful to have your time and attention. Continue to build smarter, grow stronger with my playbook method. I've loved having you here. Tune in for the next one. Take care.